EFCC's arrest of VeryDarkMan sparks controversy and public outcry. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has found itself at the center of a heated controversy following the arrest of Martins Vincent Otse, popularly known as VeryDarkMan, VDM, an outspoken social media activist. The EFCC's official statement, released on X at 10:36 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time on May 6, 2025, confirmed that Otse was detained due to a series of petitions bordering on sundry issues of alleged financial crimes. However, the arrest and the EFCC's handling of the case have ignited a firestorm of criticism, protests, and questions about the agency's transparency and motives. The EFCC's case against VeryDarkMan. According to the EFCC's post, Otse was invited multiple times to address the allegations but failed to honor the invitations, prompting his arrest. The agency emphasized that the arrest was not linked to Otse's vocal criticisms of its operations, which they described as unguarded attacks and condemnable. Instead, the EFCC insists the detention is lawful, backed by a remand order, and that Otse has been offered administrative bail, which he can access once he meets the conditions. The statement concluded with a promise to file charges once investigations are complete, while urging Nigerians to allow the agency to carry out its duties without fear or favor. However, the EFCC's narrative has been met with widespread skepticism. Earlier reports, including one from Vanguard News on May 5, suggested that Otse's arrest might be tied to allegations of cyberstalking under Nigeria's Cybercrimes Act of 2015, rather than financial crimes. This inconsistency, coupled with the EFCC's initial denial of the arrest, as reported by MC Ebisco on May 5, has fueled public distrust. Adding to the confusion, the EFCC edited its X post, a move that drew sharp criticism from users like @Oxens, who quipped, "Why una day edit post? Eagle don blind, too much ebba," mocking the agency's emblem and suggesting a lack of clarity or professionalism. Public reaction and allegations of misconduct. The arrest has sparked a wave of reactions on X, with many Nigerians questioning the EFCC's motives and transparency. @Edisiri_56 accused the EFCC of targeting activists rather than corrupt politicians, stating, "You people don't fight corruption, you fight against the people fighting against corruption." Others, like @Choji_S, criticized the EFCC's statement as poorly written and lacking substance, demanding clarity on the petitions, charges, and why Otse remains in custody despite being offered bail. The hashtag #FreeVDM has gained traction, with users like @Yopi30BG, asserting, "We know and it is very obvious that you people don't have anything incriminating against him. Shame on all of you." More troubling are allegations surrounding the circumstances of Otse's arrest. Reports from Intel Region and Vanguard News indicate that Otse was arrested alongside a friend, Stephen Avuara, CPAC, at a Guarantee Trust Bank, GTB, branch in Garki, Abuja, after inquiring about suspicious deductions from his mother's account. The Take It Back movement condemned the arrest as unlawful and premeditated, alleging that Otse and Avuara were beaten, blindfolded, and that Otse's mother, who was present during the arrest, has since gone missing. Human rights groups like HURIWA have also slammed the EFCC, accusing the agency of overstepping its mandate and acting as enforcers for commercial banks rather than fighting corruption. Contradictions and credibility concerns. The EFCC's credibility has been further undermined by conflicting statements. On May 5, lawyer Deji Adeyanju, representing Otse, told Vanguard that the EFCC claimed there were no petitions against his client, a stark contrast to the agency's later statement. This discrepancy was highlighted by Adeyanju Deji and Instablog9 who reported Adeyanju's confusion over the lack of clarity on the reasons for Otse's arrest. Additionally, @TrendingX questioned why the EFCC initially dismissed a BBC News report as fake, only to later confirm similar details about the arrest, raising doubts about the agency's consistency. The EFCC's history of selective prosecution, as noted in a 2011 Human Rights Watch report, adds another layer of complexity. The report criticized the agency for failing to secure significant convictions against high-profile politicians despite recovering billions, with only 4 convictions of political figures as of 2011, none of whom served substantial prison time. This historical context has led many, including @ND09, to argue that the EFCC ignores petitions against armed robbers parading themselves as politicians, while targeting activists like Otse. Broader implications for Nigeria's anti-corruption fight. The arrest of VeryDarkMan comes at a time when public trust in the EFCC is already fragile. Critics argue that the agency's actions reflect a broader pattern of suppressing dissent rather than tackling systemic corruption. HURIWA's Emmanuel Onwubiko pointed out the irony of the EFCC targeting an activist while key figures from the previous administration, accused of massive embezzlement, remain free. The group has vowed to pursue legal action if Otse's rights continue to be violated, framing the case as a litmus test for the EFCC's commitment to justice and the rule of law. For many Nigerians, VeryDarkMan represents a voice for the voiceless, using his platform to call out corruption and societal dysfunction. His arrest has galvanized protests and online campaigns, with users like @CleverLady4U calling the EFCC's statement deeply shameful for its lack of evidence and clarity. The controversy also raises questions about the EFCC's mandate and whether it is being weaponized to silence critics, as alleged by @Choji_S, who urged the agency to start with our own backyard if they are serious about fighting corruption. What's next? As of now, Otse remains in EFCC custody, with the agency promising to release him once he meets his bail conditions. However, the lack of transparency around the petitions, the nature of the alleged financial crimes, and the circumstances of his arrest continue to fuel public outrage. The EFCC's next steps, whether to file charges or release Otse, will likely have significant implications for its reputation and Nigeria's broader fight against corruption. For now, the saga of VeryDarkMan serves as a stark reminder of the challenges facing Nigeria's anti-corruption efforts, a lack of trust in institutions, allegations of abuse of power, and the ongoing struggle to balance accountability with the protection of fundamental rights. Omashone's channel will continue to monitor this developing story and bring you updates as they unfold. What are your thoughts on the EFCC's handling of VeryDarkMan's arrest? Drop your comments below and let's discuss. Note for Omashone's channel: this post is tailored to engage your audience with a mix of factual reporting, analysis of public sentiment, and a call to action for discussion. It highlights key details from the EFCC's statement, public reactions on X, and related web sources to provide a comprehensive overview while maintaining a critical lens on the broader implications.